are pretty much the same, as opposed to other areas of law in which the common law versus civil law divide is still quite visible, although being diluted as the two big families merge. So here again, we see environmental law as a sort of bridge between the two systems. And one of the reasons for the divide, common law versus civil law, not playing an important role in environmental law, is the fact that environmental law is a recent legal discipline from the early 70s. And moreover, it's a legal discipline that is mainly statutory law as opposed to case law. Although case law is quite relevant, the jurisprudence also alluded by Professor Kantho, and I will talk about judges at the end of my intervention. The third odd aspect of environmental law is that here is a legal discipline that is concerned with individuals, but more law is, but I will mention just one more aspect. And it is the fact that environmental law is a legal discipline in permanent flux. So what we'll be discussing today will probably be, depending on the area, could be entirely different in 10 years. Because we depend on the natural circumstances. When I started studying environmental law, still in the 80s, most of you, perhaps all of you, were not even born, climate change was not discussed. And what was discussed were the elements of the environment, wildlife, flora, water, soil, but not climate. In fact, in most, both in common law and civil law, first year, second year of law schools, we were taught that, there are things in life that law is not interested at all. It's beyond the embrace of law. And one of the examples that was mentioned was the atmosphere. Also the high seas, the oceans, coming all the way back from Roman law. And the reason being because we cannot appropriate individually the atmosphere, as we could not do with the oceans, but now we do know that we can indirectly, through contamination with plastic, for example, damage all oceans of the world. So it's a way of appropriation, but not saying this is my property, but saying this is the place where I'm going to send my trash or whatever I produce in terms of what is called environmental externalities. So the atmosphere was beyond the realm, especially of private law, because it would reject climate law being, we are privileged to be witness of the emergence of a new legal discipline, which is climate change law or climate law. It's in front of us. It's happening. Very speedy, with risks as well between environmental law and climate law. So that's why my talk is on environmental and climate law, then separated as unfortunately we see some colleagues, close colleagues doing. We know constitutional provisions. It enacted in 1995 is extraordinary. Yesterday I had the privilege of spending time with two of the most extraordinary people I have met. One of them is first of all, one that cares about people.